Alright, listen. This video is a complete waste of your time. I don't care who you are or what you're doing. There's something more important that you can do right now. I promise you. But you're probably going to keep watching anyway. Invisible Sidekick doesn't even know I'm making this video. That's how unimportant this is. Recently, I've been in a Digimon mood, kind of. I watched a couple videos on YouTube. I saw a couple of the Digivolutions, and you know, through one of my many phases, I cycle through all my all the fads. Um, and I just decided, all right, I'll watch some Digimon and I'll play some of the Digimon games. So one of the games I decided to play was Digimon World 3 because I never completed it. It's one of the few games I have that I didn't make a point of finishing. And I just recently got farther than I had ever gotten before because I usually end up quitting and restarting the game. I don't really know why, I just do. So, I defeated Suzaku Leader. That will only make sense to people who play Digimon World 3. I defeated Suzaku Leader, and she told me to find the Digi-Egg of Sincerity. Now, listen closely. The Digi-Egg of Sincerity to call Submarimon. So I immediately notice a problem with this. Submarimon is an Armor Digivolution of Armadillomon. But he Digivolves through the Digi-Egg of Reliability, not the Digi-Egg of Sincerity. But you know what? Little things change in the Digimon universe, especially through the games. Magna Angemon's level changed. I mean, they think Metal Mamemon in the game is a champion level Digimon. So having little errors like that, I don't mind so much. So I find a character who gives you a clue on where the Digi-Egg might be. And this character tells you that she saw the Crest of Reliability in a shrine in a location that your character will have already passed by. She says she says the Crest of Reliability, so immediately that catches my attention because I know it's the Digi-Egg of Reliability I actually need. However, when your character arrives at this shrine, your character says, look, it's the Crest of Sincerity. Now, Suzaku Leader told you to find the Digi-Egg of Sincerity, but the person who gave you the hint on where to look said Crest of Reliability. Then your character later says the Crest of Sincerity. So, weird, but alright, whatever, I'm not going to pay much attention to this. So I go through the whole routine to get into the shrine. And I get into the shrine. And immediately, all the patterns on the floor, and even the window that provides the light for the location, are all in the shape of the Crest of Reliability. It's the cross. It's pretty obvious that it's the Crest of Reliability. So I move down through the very small location, and I find an item. I can tell because it's big enough that this is the Digi-Egg of Reliability. Because it's pretty recognizable. It's the Digi-Egg that's in the shape of Submarimon, and it's white and purple. As opposed to the Digi-Egg of Sincerity, which is actually shaped like an egg, but has a shuriken at the bottom, and is forest green. They're pretty hard to get confused. So, I get to this item, a Digi-Egg presumably, and indeed, it is a Digi-Egg. And indeed, it is the Digi-Egg I require. However, the character refers to it as the Digi-Egg of Sincerity. So, some random nameless character recognizes the Crest of Reliability and knows that it's not the Crest of Sincerity, but not only your character and the leader of a city get it confused. Alright, you know what? Whatever. I don't mind that so much. I mean, your character has proven himself not to be that bright a couple times by this point. Suzaku leader being an idiot is kind of weird, but maybe Japan's being sexist because Japan is a little sexist. Nothing against Japanese people, it's just a culture thing. But recognize, and those of you who have played it know this game is built, the story is built like you're playing an MMO. Like your mind is transferred into an online game. So presumably, the interface of the actual game is what your character really sees, which I think is interesting. A couple games do that. However, when I opened my items section to make sure that I actually had the item in my inventory, the item said, Digi-Egg of Sincerity, an item to call Submarimon. So you're saying some rinky-dink character who doesn't even deserve a name can recognize the Crest of Reliability, but the creators of the game refer to it wrong? How the hell does that work? I mean, I can see that the people who wrote the English script, because it had to be translated, I could see them making the mistake of referring to the Digi-Egg of Reliability as the Digi-Egg of Sincerity and getting the crest name wrong. I can totally understand that. But then, how did they get it right once and wrong 4 or 5 other times? You see the Crest of Reliability hanging over your head when you call Submarimon. And anyone who knows anything about the series knows Submarimon Armor Digivolves from the Digi-Egg of Reliability, not the Digi-Egg of Sincerity. So, how can they get it wrong once, or how can they get it wrong a bunch of times but get it right once? It doesn't make sense to me. How did you manage that? That's hard to do! But, since I'm on the subject, to make matters more annoying, when I finally called Submarimon and got to the seabed, quote-unquote, that's what the location is called, when I got to the seabed, the controls are completely different from walking around normally. Now, personally, I expected a short animatic, and I'd be in the western sector, and I'd just be able to continue on. Like everything else in the game. I mean, yeah, you fight on the gondola, but it's only once. So I figured at the most, I'd see Zudomon or something. I don't know. But no. You have to navigate the undersea, which at first I don't mind. But the problem is, as I said, the controls are completely different, but they give you no instruction. So I'm literally pressing random buttons trying to figure out how to move forward. I shouldn't have to do that. And obviously you meet Digimon in the seabed. And if you didn't, it would not only be completely tedious, but also absolutely superfluous. So I'm glad that I meet a bunch of Dolphinmon on the way. But those of you who play the game know, you find Digimon every 3 seconds in that game, unless you are in a city or in an inn. So it's hard to control Submarimon, and every 3 seconds, another Dolphinmon pops up. And when I say every 3 seconds, I mean, like, literally, you could count off on your hand 1, 2, 3 Digimon. Because this game, literally, I have tapped the control pad and met a Digimon, and when I say tapped, I mean the character didn't even move. That's how often you meet Digimon in this game. And they're everywhere. You can even be in a town and you'll still encounter Digimon. It has to be a city or an inn to be safe. So I'm going up against Dolphinmon, and because of the way I play, I didn't buy power charges, which is how you restore health in the field. I just didn't feel like buying them, because as people who play the game know, it's very hard to find your way around the world and know what you're doing, so you wind up running around in the same area and end up training your Digimon to way overpowered levels, so you can beat just about anybody easily. But as soon as you beat Suzaku Leader, there's this huge, huge curve in all the Digimon. I mean, they're like Triceramon in Central Park. It's ridiculous. I'm exaggerating a little, but like, the point is, it gets ridiculous really fast. So the Dolphinmon go through half my team by the time I figure out how to go straight. But it gets better! Because you can't control the pitch of Submarimon. Now, normally that wouldn't be a problem. But there are obstacles that you can only bypass at certain depths. The Soviets thought that tailless deltas were bad with pitch. You can't control Submarimon except turn the nose right, turn the nose left, and move forward. To change your depth, you need to either go forward, which makes you go down incrementally, or stay still, which makes you go up incrementally. But there are barriers that you can't go under. So unless you were at the perfect angle, you can't go through them. That's not entertaining, that's tedious. Coupled with the fact that every 3 freaking seconds, you're fighting a Dolphinmon. And to make matters still more annoying, you don't pop up in the Western Sector. No. You pop up in, quote-unquote, the Suzaku Underground Cave. Now, this cave is supposed to be an Easter egg, because I could tell by how I fought Suzaku Leader and how she reacted to the moves I made that her Shogun Gekomon is her favorite Digimon, her most loved Digimon, and that's sort of like, her partner. And all that are in the Suzaku Underground Cave are Shogun Gekomon. So it's supposed to be an Easter egg for the players that this is where Suzaku Leader got her Shogun Gekomon. But honestly, I don't care that much. I want to continue. Now, at that point I got frustrated and went back, and after the 30 minutes it took me to get to the Suzaku Underground Cave, which I explored pretty thoroughly, I gave up and went back, and obviously I'm missing something, and I'll find it. I'll find whatever little hidden path leads to the Western Sector. But why did they feel the need to do any of this? It doesn't make the game more enjoyable. It makes me angry. Angry enough to rant about it. Again, I apologize for wasting your time, because this is a total waste of your time. But it's just, I can't fathom what the writers, both the people who wrote the English script for the, translated it into English, and the people who originally wrote the game and the programs, why they felt the need for all of this. And how they screwed up the reliability sincerity thing. I don't know, it's just, I couldn't help but saying it. I had to say it, and I'm probably going to go back tonight and finish off, I'm going to, try to get to the Western Sector and complete the freaking game. But, my God, fail. That's really the only thing you can say about this. It's just fail. Sorry for wasting your time.